Hi people, my name is Alexandra and I'm 46 years old and I live in Switzerland. I'm a Swiss citizen. I try for once to do a video in English because I think it's very important in these times that people are aware of what's happening in the world, and it's not about conspiracy theories that I want to talk about or the pandemic or whatever. And I also don't want to talk about, this kind of religion stuff or Jesus Christ particularly, but it all has to do with one thing that the entire world must be aware of. And I think that this awareness is lacking in almost all parts of the world. The thing is that during the past years, some of you people might have noticed that the world is going into a very strange level. And I'm sorry if my English is not correct. I try to express myself as best as I can. Well, in the last years, there were happening really strange things in the world, and especially during the past 2 years. Some of you became very aware of that something going on. And I know a lot of people that have tried to find explanations in finding God because they are lost in this world. They are one part of the people, they think that everything is fine, we are all right, we are so fine, and we are feeling good in this world as never before. We have everything. Well, what these people talk about is material things. When they say, we are living in times where we never had it better than now because our families, our parents, our grandparents, they were suffering, they had no food, they had no electricity, they had no heating. And yeah, that's all right, that's correct. But when people think that we are living in a world where we are having as many good things as never before, then they are talking about material things. But is this what is the purpose of life? To live a life where during your small lifetime you have all the material things, and then you're getting old and you know your life is going to end one day and you have no idea for what you were here and where you go. You have no idea because you never seeked for the answers. As long as people feel comfortable, they have everything, material things. Why should they go and seek for answers? Why should they go and seek for deep answers and to find out who is God and what is the truth? Which religion is the true one? And I'm not talking about religion today at all, people, because once you will get to know me better, because I try to do more and more videos in English, you will find out that you reached the full level of freedom. You can reach the highest level of freedom when you have recognized that you don't need a guide at all in your life except the guidance from God straight. No human beings in betweens, no Bibles, no religion stuff, no communities, no people they tell you what you have to do and how and when. Because as soon as people tell you what you have to do and how and when and how many times, you're already under pressure and you're already a slave of someone. So once you have found out what the purpose of life is, you can reach the absolute highest level of freedom. But this requires work from your part to try to find yourself, to find out who you are and why are you here and where do you come from and where do you go. And the thing is that in the past years, as I said, or the past decades, people became less and less, how can I say, attached to God, because the better they felt, the more material things they got, the less they need God, because of course they thank God, some of them, and they think that thanks to God, I'm feeling fine, I have everything. But they think that thanking God is enough. They thank to a God for all the things they have, the material things, without even knowing who is their God. And there are people, they think that there are several gods. No, there is one for all of us. There is one entire energy in the universe which is for all of us. And it's not for these people, it's this God, and for that people is that God, and these people come from there and the other people come from there. That's crap. I'm sorry. There is an entire energy in the universe which is not to explain because it's huge. It's an energy full of light. And this is what we call God, because we don't know how to call it, because it has no name. And people are who gave names to their gods. So that's why they are fighting and say this one is the right God, that one is the right religion. But they don't know that it's all one and the same. And all the stuff they are following, the guidelines of any Bibles and Tanakhs and Qurans, are the guidelines of humans who wrote these things. And people might say, yeah, but they were prophets from God. How do you know that? Do you think that the prophets come only from the good energy? Don't you think that the prophets can also be set by the negative energy to make people believe something that they should not? So they make them to their slaves. The thing is that I'm desperate when I see what the world is following. And if people would all know about the one, we would not have problems at all. But the problem itself is that the world is ruled by a negative energy, which is out there. And this negative energy is also in human beings. And that's why I said the prophets, of which people think that they came from God, they are inspired by God. they can at the same time be inspired by someone who wants to influence people to believe wrong things. So don't automatically believe in what some prophets said, because you should never believe anyone except when you're trying to find it out by yourself, without believing and trusting in people. Many people who are seeking answers about this world and what's happening out there, and they want to find God, they want to find out who is God, who are they themselves. They of course start to read the Bible first. And some other people, they follow other things like gurus or any spiritual groups or whatever. And all these people, they tell people so much stuff that you don't really know what to believe anymore. And the thing is that people pick the things to believe what they want to hear. They believe in what they like. If they don't like this version, okay, then they seek for other versions. Okay, this is sympathetic. Okay, I stick to that group. So they pick the group that is well for them. And they believe what the guide of this group is telling them. This is how religion was made. And religion is not necessarily an official religion which is known in this society, in this world. It can be anything. I mean, with YouTube, you have millions of gurus and spiritual guides that tell you where we come from, what we should believe, and how you should pray, how you should meditate, and you should read this book, and you should get up at that time, and you should do it this way, and in the morning you should do this, and at lunchtime you should do that, and at the weekend you should not do anything, and all these things. That's all human guidelines. And whoa, do you really call that freedom? Some people might say, yes, but we are not here to be free. We have to follow the guidelines of God, and only then we are reaching freedom when we live our lives. I ask you, do you really think that a Godfather of pure love is going to ask his child to suffer the lifelong for him to get the freedom? Just think logic. You are a parent, for example. You are a dad, you have a child. You are a loving dad that loves your child more than anything. That's normal, right? So, would you ask your child that he or she is going to suffer for you, her or his lifelong, so that you are satisfied, and then at the end of the child's life you say, okay, you've done well, you're now free, you can come to me? Would you really do that? Tell me. Well, if you would do that, then you would be an absolute selfish, egoistic parent, father. But totally. And God is never asking you to suffer, to follow guidelines that humans made, that they put into books that you should read. and then you're going crazy because you think, oh, I should get up at 5 and then I should meditate or I should pray, and on Saturdays I'm not allowed to work, and all these things. I mean, there is a million things that we could count on. Do you really think that a father of love would expect that from his children that he loves so much? Well, it's up to you what you should believe, but if you imagine yourself being a parent asking your children to do this, probably you would say, but no, of course they should not do that for me. I mean, I want my children to be happy. I want the best for them. I want that they are free children, that they can discover the world, that they can enjoy the life, that they can live the love and the freedom that life gives. But as a father or a mother, of course, you would like that your child knows who you are. If you see that your children are ignoring you or are going far away from you, they leave you and they don't contact you at all anymore, then you would be sad, isn't it? And it's the same story with God. It's not only about to thank God every day, but it's about to know Him. How do you know that you know your God? Who is your God? Have you ever really tried to figure out who is God? Probably you think that you know who is God because you read the Bible or the Quran or whatever, and then you have kind of an imagination who is God. But it's an imagination. It's a picture that you have. It's a picture of how you imagine God from the things that you read. But do you really know Him? Did you ever get signs from Him? Do you know Him so that you know Him so well that you put all your trust and faith into Him? Well, many people might say now, yes, I do that. I fully trust God. I fully believe in God. But I want to tell you something. I bet in 99.9% of all cases that if it comes hard on hard, if it comes really into tough times, you might be praying, but do you really trust that God will solve the problems, or are you worried? Most people are worried. And why are they worried? Because they don't trust God at all, because they don't know Him. If it comes into really tough situations, then people trust only themselves or they seek help in other people. They pray, of course, but they are worried. And if you're worried, then it's because you don't trust God, simply. You don't know who He is. And because you have never experienced that He is next to you. You might say, yes, I have experienced, He helped me in many times already. But I really want to see, when it comes to really tough times, I really want to see who stays calm. When I watch, for example, YouTube videos that are showing the news worldwide today, no matter if it's about war, the fear of an atomic war, or the climate change, or the pole shifts that are going to happen, then I noticed that most people are worried. They are worried. They are worried. So why are you not just staying calm and say, well, I know that for me it's going to be fine because I know who is God and I know that He helps me. The thing is that to become that relaxed and free of all the things that people want to tell you, of all the guidelines that they tell you that you have to follow, they tell you what you have to believe. To become free of all that, you have to find God by yourself. And this is work, guys. It's crazy. I really don't know where to start, but the thing is that as soon as you're trying to find out who is God, you have to start at a point. And you're also talking with people maybe, and you're seeking ideas in the internet, you read books, you ask communities, and the dangerous thing about it is that as soon as you listen to people, you run into danger that you believe in wrong things. Because this is actually what the negative energy, the devil, wants. He wants nothing more than to catch as many possible. And how can he catch? He can catch very easily, because as soon as you believe what someone else says, you're already in danger that you believe something wrong. You have to experience by yourself what is true and what is wrong. And if you go this path to find by yourself, you will truly experience miracles, because once you're entering the right path, you will feel a power, an energy. You will feel that you are guided by someone that is not to explain, and there will happen things in your life that you cannot talk about with no one, because simply you don't even know how to describe it. And when you feel these things, then you know that someone's around and wants to show you something. And you feel that stronger and stronger and stronger, and you learn how to deal with these kind of signs that are surrounding you. This is really difficult to explain, but once you realize that power, that guide that helps you to follow this path because you're on the right path, you start to trust into this power because you feel it's here. And believe me, you feel it when you go the path alone and not when you enter a community. This is what the communities, the churches are telling you, that you must join the groups, You are accepted by God only if you join this or that group. Oh, please. No, it's the opposite. God watches you, and He's watching. Is my child following all these groups, or is that child denying it and saying no, no, and no, and no? I want to find Him by myself. And if you do that, you will be overwhelmed by what will happen in your life. And you will experience things that you cannot explain. The way that you're going, the road is long, it's hard, tough, and there's many obstacles that are in your way. They want to catch you. And you have to try to avoid everything. It's like you're a small fish in the huge ocean, and the fishes are coming, the big fishes. They want to eat you. They want to eat you. And you have to try to get around them until you have reached your goal. And once you have reached it, you will know it. You will not longer have to believe in something. You will not longer have to seek for answers because you got them. You got them all, and you got them in a way that you know the wisdom is coming from above. And this is something that you cannot explain to nobody, because this is something you have to experience. And people who have experienced this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. During that road of finding God, you might have to read things. You might have to watch some things. A documentation or a YouTube video, or you read a book, or whatever. You listen to someone that has spiritual experiences. There are people that made the spiritual experiences, of course, but attention, because many of them are also influenced by negative energy, and they don't even know it, because most people don't know it. Most people don't know it. They are not aware that they are in a cage, in a prison, which is called religion, church, spiritual things, gurus, whatever groups, any kind of things that you should join, and you follow someone to believe what the other one is telling you, you are already in the cage, already locked in. It's very, 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 very easy for the devil to catch you. It's so easy. You have no idea how easy it is. But the difficult thing is to get around this. And if you are going through this, if you manage it, to do it, to go around it without being caught, there will be the point on your road where you know that you're on the right path, because you will experience things that are not from that world. All I want to tell you, in these times that we're living now, everything is going crazy. And we are living in really special times where there is nothing in order. There is nothing right. Nothing is all right. For people who are having everything, material things, for them everything is all right. But they are not aware that these people are already caught. Because all that the devil, the evil energy, devil we call it because it's the common name, but it's an evil energy, it's a dark energy, it's a negative power. And all that he wants is to make you satisfied by giving you all the material things. And then he thinks that, or you think that this is coming from God, the material things, and you thank God. But you're not aware that you're thanking the wrong God, because the true peace is not coming, or the true luck, fulfillingness is not by having material things, but it's by having the knowledge who you are, why you are here, where you're from, why was the man about to die, where are we going when we die, who is God? Tell me something. Do you really think that because at the beginning the first humans did sin against God, and that's why they had to die, and since then the entire humanity has to die because at the very beginning two people did not say what God told them to do, and the rest of the world after them were punished forever and ever and ever. So do you really think that that's true? Well, then you're really easy to be influenced. That's again the story. Imagine yourself being a parent, and you tell your child, for example, "Oh, don't do this." And your child is still doing it because you tell him not to do. Well, would you really punish your child for the rest of his entire life? And would you punish also your other children and the children of your children of your children of your children, and forever going on, because one child did not do what you said? Of course not. So the whole thing, the whole story, even the beginning already of the Bible story about Adam and Eve in paradise is a complete lie. I'm sorry. This is not the truth. You have to find out what the truth is and why we are here, why we get sick, why we are getting old, why we're suffering, why we die. Why is there evil in this world? Why? All these whys, you will get answers. I guarantee you this. But you will not get the answers from the people. You have to seek and find by yourself. And you can think about Jesus what you want. But I will tell you one thing. He said, He is the way, He is the road, He is the truth, He is the life, He is the light of the world. Do you really think that a guy of 34 years who said that 2,000 years ago and was dying on a cross because of the teaching he gave to the people, do you really think that a young man that at the end was there with just two handful of followers would still be that famous 2,000 years later if he would not had a significant role in this world? Well, you can think about Jesus whatever you want, but one thing that he said also is that who does not take his cross like he did will not be able to follow him. And he meant that if you don't take the suffer and the weight of that cross, to carry it, to find the truth, you must seek and find it. He said clearly that who does not take his own cross will not be able to follow him. He did not say, now who believes in me, everything is saved. Everyone is saved. This is what, again, the church is saying. The Bible is telling. But he always told people, seek until you find. Seek. And he said to the people many times, you're living in an error. You're living in mistake, because God is the living God and not the God of the dead. And well, if you believe in the Bible, then I'm wondering if you really read it carefully. To be able to find out the truth, no matter if it's the Quran, the Tanakh, the Bible, you must go beyond this. You must go further. Because the thing is that what the common mass believes is the wide path. It's the wide road, the large wide road where all the mass is following. And what the mass is following is never the truth. The truth you have to find out by yourself, without to do and to believe what all the others are believing. And for example, there are now 2.26 billion of Christians worldwide. So Jesus said that most people are taking the wide path, the large road, but only a few follow the narrow road, the small path that goes into eternal life. And why did he say that? Because that one that is going opposite will find out what's the truth, and not the mass who is following what everyone says what you should follow. And if you believe in the Bible 100%, then you're actually doing what they are telling you, what you should believe. And they are these ones who want to keep you here without having found the truth. And you're not following the small, narrow road, and you're not taking the cross to find out what you really should believe. Because it's, of course, a lot of work and effort and time to put in. It's much easier to believe what people tell you what you should believe. And if someone comes, no matter if he's a Muslim or a Hindu or a Buddhist or Christian or Jewish, doesn't matter. If they put honey around your mouth and explain you his religion with very nice words, then, okay, yes, I like that version. Okay, I go with them. Okay, well, if you want to find God and to find out all the answers you ever had in your life, then you must seek by yourself until you find all the answers. And I guarantee you that the answers will not come from humans. You will enter a level with your mental ability that will open itself so widely. But this is a path you have to go. It's not happening from today to tomorrow. This is a path, a long road that you have to go, and you will get to know all the answers coming from above. That's the wisdom that will come from above, and it's a wisdom that is so high that you can not even explain these things to other people. You simply cannot. You can't. You will be able to understand the entire story of the universe. Who is God? Why we're here and all these things I explained you before. You will be able to understand all this, and you will be able to even tell it to people in a very simple version, which will be a complete different version to what they have ever heard before, and they will of course laugh at you. Because this is not what they believe. It's not what they heard about. It's something new. It's totally different, and they will laugh at you. Of course they will. What did they do with Jesus? The same thing. So don't let yourself get confused about reaction of people. Don't let yourself become influenced by people. Seek until you find. And seek by yourself and take your time and stick to it. And don't give it long breaks. Otherwise you lose. You lose the how do you say? You know, you having here a string, and you lose where you've been last when you take too long breaks. So go this way. You need time. You need silence. Very important, silence. Turn your phone off. No radio, no TV, no kids, no partner talking to you. You need the total silence, the total awareness and concentration to be able to think about every single phrase that you read or that you watch on TV or YouTube or whatever you're doing. You need to think about everything. And I tell you, it will make you so tired. It will make you so tired. Your head will smoke. You will have a million thoughts. You don't know where to put it, where to sort it. You are getting even more confused because the more you read, the more questions you have. But the thing is, it's like a huge puzzle and you have to put the pieces together. And when you have the puzzle complete, you will be at a level where you have reached the total freedom. You have reached what you have ever sought in life. There is nothing to reach anymore. Nothing. It gives you an inner peace and calms you that nothing can confuse you anymore in this world. Nothing. People can tell what they want. You will just walk away. When you are at that stage, you can, of course, help people who are seeking God. But the thing is that everyone must understand it fully by themselves. Everyone has to seek it, to understand it, to 100% understand it. If people don't understand it, they listen to you. After that, they remember a part of what you said, and then they go home and they don't really know what you were talking about. Then they have not understood anything. And it's because they don't put effort into it. They don't put effort into understanding, into wanting to understand it. As soon as something gets too complicated, people resist, they give up. Ah, that's too complicated. Ah, that's too much work. Ah, that's too much time. Yes, this is what the one that wants to keep you down here wants. That you say exactly these things. It's too much work. Ah, no, I don't want. Ah, no, I prefer to watch a movie. Ah, no, I'm looking on Instagram, I'm Facebooking and doing this and that, and all the millions of other things that you have to do will keep you away from seeking God. And it's a lot of work, guys. But it's worth it. Because if you have got no answers, then you see this world from a complete different point of view, and it's not even easy to live in this world anymore because you now know why you never understood this world, maybe even before. I think that most of the people who experience these things were never a friend of this world. Because if you are a friend of this world, then you love the material things, then you love what this world is all about. And this world is not what you think it is. And all I want to tell you is that seek by yourself alone. As soon as you are going to do this with someone else, and this other person has another opinion or another point of view, you're already entering into discussion, and it can destroy a friendship or something. Just do your thing. Follow your instinct. Think with your brain and don't take what others tell you. Everything must make 100,000% sense and logic for you. You must be able to understand everything. And if there is something that you don't understand, then stick to it until you understand it. And if you read and watch something that doesn't seem right or doesn't seem logic, then you must listen to that, what you're feeling, because it's your inner voice telling you. Your inner voice, your instinct, which is telling you, okay, what's it all about? No, I don't believe that. If your inner voice is telling you this, then listen to it. Believe it only when you have all the explanations that completes a statement or something that you have heard or read, so that you can say, okay, it's because of this and this and this and this, and in that order, okay, now I got it, it makes total sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it's not correct. And a last thing, don't believe things because they seem beautiful, because these are the things you want to hear. If people give you simple answers or tell you that everything is all right, just believe in God, and God is pure love, He will take care of everything. I want to tell you, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, because as long as you don't know who is your Father, how can you trust and believe in someone that you really don't know who He is? If you don't know exactly who He is, and why you're here, where you're from, and what's it all about, this earth and the evil, then you are trusting into something that you think it is God, but you don't know it. You believe in a God, you believe in Him, but believing is not knowing. This is a huge difference. It's a difference if you believe or if you know. And if you know it, then you know it. And then you don't have to believe anymore because you know it. And nothing can ever confuse you ever again. Nothing, nobody, nobody. Well, I could talk for hours, but I think for now that's enough. It's really, really difficult in these times with a population of 8 billion people on the planet, in times of billions of YouTube videos and billions of daily posts on things like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, to reach only one of you that is wanting to find what I have found. this is really, really, really difficult. And in all these billions and billions of flooded posts every day, my video now probably goes lost. But if I have reached only 1 or 2 people that I could encourage with this video to stick to the seeking by yourself without looking right or left, then I have reached something, not for myself, but for you. You have to seek, to listen, to watch, as I said. But don't let these grab you to go left or right. You have to find a way and go through this. I guarantee you it's very difficult. It's like a fish, like I said, a small fish. You go here, you go there, okay? But stay on the path and don't give up. And you will feel that, not at the beginning, after a time, you will feel that there is something guiding you. But you will feel it only if you stick to it. If you start and you give up, you will feel nothing. I find it a pity when people read the Bible, for example, and there are many people who say, oh, I read the Bible, but, well, I could not really get along with it. Okay, but why don't you continue to seek if you don't get along with it? If the Bible did not give you the answers you expected, like it happened to me, why are you not staying on the path and continue to seek? Was there nothing in the Bible, for example, that made you a little bit thirsty so that you said, well, I now read this whole Bible, but I could not get the answers that I wanted? And believe me one thing, you don't need anyone to explain you the Bible. That was the very first thing I said to people at the beginning. They want to, oh yeah, but you need to join this community or that. Someone needs to explain you who knows what the Bible means. No. I said, well guys, if the Bible is really the Word of God, then He would not have written it in a way that I would not be able to understand it by myself. Otherwise, the whole thing would not make any sense. And so, study this book alone, no matter what you study. No matter if you study the teaching of the Buddhists, of the Muslims, you have to start somewhere. I don't say read the Bible and you will find out that it's really strange. If you read everything with a full awareness, then you will find out that no one of all these religion books will give you 1000% satisfying answers to your life. None of them. If that would be the case, then there would be a group of people in the world that we could say, oh, what they believe is the truth. But no. The truth, each individual has to find by himself and not to stick to groups. So if you're starting to read any of these religion books, read it with awareness. And then don't stop and don't give up until you have found all answers. And you will know when you have reached the level where you are completely set free. You will know it. And as long as you don't know it, as long as you do what others tell you what you have to do, how you have to do, when you have to do, and what you should not do, as long as you let people influence yourself, you're a slave of this world. So the truth is to find. It is to find. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. And it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. I guarantee you this too. So thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I will do another one in English as soon as I think it's worth to tell you something important. As you can see, it's not my purpose to make you believe into something, because that's exactly not what my job is. I don't have a job. People think, but I'm here, I have a job. Yes, you know what your job is. Your job is only to find the Father, to find who He is, to know where you want to go when you leave this world. And it's not what the church or the religions or the people are telling you. Believe me. The truth is different. Yes, so my job is only now to tell you to seek by yourself. Because the knowledge is that will set you free. The knowledge of where we're coming from, why we are here, and where we go. And what the Bible is telling you about that the human sinned against God, and that's why we're here, dying and suffering until our life is over. And when we believe in Christ, we get to God, into the kingdom of heaven. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Unfortunately, this is not the truth. But find it out by yourself. Thank you.